Welcome back to BetRacingNation here on Sports Tonight Live. We're covering day one of Cheltenham. We're previewing day one. We've had a look at the Mares Hurdle. Just to remind you also that on our website, BetRacingNation.com, we're running a Connect 4. Basically, you can win £100. It's absolutely free to enter. 4 selected races. If you pick the winner of those 4 selected races, you could win £100. Certainly, if you're the sole winner of that, and some people have gone for some outsiders, it gives you more opportunity. If it's a dead heat, we'll run a head-to-head on the website. But our attention now will be focused on the first race of Cheltenham, and that first race, Supreme. And it's got a bad record for favourites. Irvine obviously has been backed in.
It hasn't.
It hasn't? It's got a terrible record for favourites.
No, well, we go off track slightly, but the record of favourites at the festival, because of the relative price of favourites, it's about right. It's not a bad race of favourites.
I think it's just exaggerated in recent years with some shorties like Cousin Vinny and Dunquib getting turned out.
Q Card, well heavily backed. Was it 2010 he went in the Supreme and he finished 4th? I was on him that day.
Well, my turn on yours last year was well backed. Where do we start? Let's start on Irvine. This is the horse that I was originally going to go for, which I've changed my mind on. What are our views?
Too short for me. I wouldn't be a backer at all on a win price. There's too many doubts. He's never ran left-handed before in Britain, which is a slight concern as well. He is from a flat, and he's a much speedier type than Vitor, who's from a national hunt pedigree, and he's from a traditional background, if you like, for a Supreme. Also, just a couple of slight things. I'm not a big one to go on jockeys at all, but Nick Scholefield's only ridden 1 Cheltenham Festival winner, which was Hunt Ball, and he's only ridden 1 Grade 1 winner as well, Melodic Rendezvous, and he's up against Ruby here on Vitor, and plus all the other main jockeys as well. I just thought Irvine was too short for me at 5-2 with all those doubts attached. I was a layer rather than a backer.
And the question marks will be that Irvine done it on speed tracks, flat tracks, didn't beat much last time. Whereas Vitor beat the Tullow Tank, and that's a stronger form.
He beat a more Alto, who Dave took his tip, but it wasn't a great race.
No,
I mean, when you watch him in the final furlong and everyone's cheering, it looked great. But when you look at the form in cold hard logic, it wasn't great. And as Will said, he's not gone left-handed. He's known that.
But he came out with the stats. but no, seriously. I mean, so you put a line for it. You think it'll drift on the day?
I'll take him on
because it's it's 9-4, 5-2. You think on the day he's going to go out to 7-2 possibly?
He'll probably drift because of the Ruby Walsh factor as well.
I don't see him going off favourite. No, I think Vassal will go favourite.
And the Irish will steam into the tour, you'd think. So I think it'll be very close between them, but probably maybe just for
possibly joint favourite.
Yeah, possibly.
Joint favourite,
Possibly. I mean, Vitor, as you said, has got more of a stamina pedigree and national hunt pedigree. Yeah. This race will be run at a pace, wouldn't it? I mean, this is a big transformation. Let's not forget all these animals have ridden on very heavy going for most of the winter. Yeah. This is going to be good to soft.
Yeah, and Vitor has won over further than this as well, so he's a definite stage. He's similar sort of type to Champagne Fever. Last year he'd won over 2.5 before coming here and dropping in trip and winning this.
And he would have raced at Navan, didn't he? Which is, he's got a bit of experience in big fields.
Wicklow Brave.
My issue with Wicklow Brave's is jumping technique. He made a fair few mistakes last time out, but he might be better with better ground and a more true pace. That might actually help his jumping out. But and I'm not sure who rides Wicklow Brave either.
No. I'd go with Townend.
Paul Townend. That's not a negative, but just his jumping would be a slight concern for me. And he's plenty shorter for me as well.
Is there quite a few races, isn't he? There's summer jumper, really.
Okay, well, let's go over to Sam in Twitter Corner, see any selections from Supreme Novice Hurdle from our audience.
Yeah, I must say, it's a really difficult one to call. I personally wouldn't be steaming in with the favourite. I think the argument about what's going to go off favourite, what's going to drift, if Willie Mullins maybe didn't have so many, you would think everyone would be behind one horse, but I definitely think there's split views on that. I've had Alex Jack Rogers tweet me to say that he's on Wicklow Brave. It's my other pick other than my main one, which will appear on screen, which is the Liquidator, and I'll go into that in a moment. I've got plenty of you telling me that you've got some nice prices, though. I've got Kieran, who's tweeted me, and who tweets under at Monkey Twips, he said that he's on at 20-1 for the current favourite, Irvine. So well done to you. You obviously spotted some value way back when. Of the others in the market, I like the Liquidator. I think if you forgive it the last time, you've got to think it's done well at Cheltenham, albeit in a very small field race. It was ridden from the front. We know Tom Skoo likes to ride that way. This is going to be a frantic pace. If he sets the fractions right, I think it will run into a place at a huge price. I've also got to just give a shout out to one of the outsiders of the field, Wild Blue Yonder, who, if it stayed on his feet in one of the 2 times it's fallen at the last, would probably be looking at half the price it is now. I'd like to put it to the panel that whether they think maybe there's an outsider in the field, maybe something at a slight big price. I know we debated about the record of favourites, but plenty of you guys have tweeted me in to say that you're looking for value, and if you haven't got it on Irving now, you're not going to get it. I'll pass you back over.
Now, someone who does like backing winners, not each way, is at big prices, are Will and Billy. Bobby just comes to the fun of it. But is there anything in this race that you think, right, OK, let's take the first 2 out of the market. Where's the value? Where's the each way value?
I hope so. I found a couple. One that is going to be my selection, which is Gil Gamboa, each way for JP McManus. And then De Bolger, who has been a master of a cross-country race at Cheltenham over the last few years with the likes of Spot the Difference. But Gil Gamboa has been running in big field handicaps in Ireland and really impressing. He travels so well in his races. He beat 26 of the rivals last time at Leopardstown. The vibes are that he's going to go for this instead of a county, and I think Gil Gamboa will run a race and probably have the assistance of AP as well, which will be a plus. The other one, just at a bigger price, especially if the ground comes up good or good to soft, Garde la Victoire of Philip Hobbs is another that disappointed in that race Sam was talking about at Kempton with the Liquidator in. But that ground was very tacky and holding that day, and the track probably didn't suit him either. Previous to that, he was second to Ballyolton at Cheltenham, only beaten the neck, and he's got plenty of good ground for him. He beat Regal Encore as well earlier on in the season. So I think Garde la Victoire at a big price, but Gil Gamboa will be my main each way play.
Bobby was like, yes.
Well,
tell us why.
I was going to say, if you're going for the win, I would say definitely Vuitton. If you want to go each way, what Will said, Gil Gamboa, because he was actually declared to run at Newbury the other week, and I was very excited for him to come over. Unfortunately, he didn't, but obviously there were talk at the time that he was going to go straight to Cheltenham, and I think it's your best. For me, I'm going to really stick my neck on the line here, but I think for me it's the best each way bet of the entire festival. I said it.
Yeah. Stick his head on the line, cut.
Best each way bet, Gil Gamboa.
Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the ground's probably going to come right, but Splash of Ginge, I mean, won the Betfair Hurdle, and the Betfair Hurdle it's not running.
No, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone, sorry.
Not in the panel.
The Betfair Hurdle isn't won by a handicapper. It's been run by some horses that have ran really well in the Champion Hurdle, and the reason I was lucky enough to select Splash of Ginge was because he wasn't a handicapper. He's got a bit of, he's been with the big boys, got a bit of sort of rough and tough experience. It'd be nice for the Twist and David Shard for him to run well. I wouldn't say I'd back him to win, but if you ask me for an each way outside, I think Splash of Ginge could go well if he goes to this race.
Yeah, if it was soft ground, he'd be much more confident than what we're
likely to get. Ground for Splash of Ginge, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go through our selections later on, but I'm more swinging towards Vuitton to win it, based on I think this race will be run at some mighty hectic pace, which Irving won't be used to. And there'll be a few horses here. I think Wicklow Brave, with the jumping as well, it might struggle to get round Cheltenham.
One we haven't mentioned, I'm just looking at the graphic there, that's quite helps. Vanity, Nicky Henderson's really impressive winner at Doncaster last time, beat the likes have gone too far.
It is quite interesting though, when we had Nicky Henderson on, the plan wasn't to go to Cheltenham. No. It was to go to Aintree. Now, if Anatole does run at Cheltenham, and obviously you were watching a recording of this on Monday night, so things may have changed. But the fact that you planned to go to Aintree. Yeah,
well, I think his head lad Corky Brown's been on a few preview nights and suggesting that he now would run. Now the ground's coming up to go good. But I'm not convinced he finds a great deal under pressure. He didn't have to at Doncaster last time out. It was streets ahead of those.
It was the Kempton race was poor because he didn't jump very well.
No, and he didn't jump very well either. So, yeah, slight concerns with Vanity for sure for me.
I think Nicky to say a few of those horses have been held up with the weather. A few of those sort of horses have been struggling a little bit.
It's like anything though, a bit of sun on your back, you look far better, like I do. Don't forget, we've got special offers on our website, BetRacingNation.com. First day double, Sire De Grugy and Quevega, and we've also got 8-1, the new one. We'll be talking about Champion Hurdle very soon. But after this break, It's the Irish selections. See you after this.